people go. Moses said to Pharaoh, God is in control. Through his work, our faith grows perfect. Love it casts out fear. And through faith, our God draws near. The great escape out of Egypt to the mighty Red Sea. The sea was parted through the waters. He saved them and me. In fear, we try to do enough. In faith, we know God rescued us. And through the waters we were saved. Let my people go, Moses said to Pharaoh. God is in control. Through his work, our faith grows perfect. Love it casts out fear. And through faith, our God draws near. The great escape.
Hey guys, welcome back. Today is day 4 of camp. So excited that you guys are here. So yesterday we learned about the Tower of Babel and how even when we're reaching up, God has already reached down to us. And today we're diving into a new adventure. We're going to be looking at the Great Escape. And that's the Israelites' escape from Egypt, from Pharaoh, with Moses. We're going to be learning a little bit more about Moses and some surprises he had for Pharaoh. But before we dive into our story, we gotta learn our song. Guys, I think I have an idea to get Mr. Matt here faster. How about we close our eyes and snap on the count of 3? Maybe he'll appear. You ready? Close your eyes really, really tight. 1, 2, 3.
Whoa, how'd I get here? What's this thing doing on me? You guys must have done that snapping trick, didn't you? That snapping trick gets me every time. But since I'm here, I might as well teach you today's Creative Arts Camp theme song. That's right, we're talking about Moses and Pharaoh and the Great Escape today. So we're going to learn the song that goes a little bit like, The Great Escape. I love that part. The Great Escape. Anyway, the song talks about Moses and Pharaoh and putting our faith in God versus fear. Now, if you remember, and as we'll see in a few minutes in our story, Pharaoh was down in Egypt and he had enslaved God's people, the Israelites, and was making them build all kind of pyramids and fantastical temples to his glory, to Pharaoh's glory. Because Pharaoh thought of himself as a god. Out of fear, he held on and worshipped himself, but Moses did not have fear. Moses had faith. Not faith that he could do it as Moses, but faith in God, that God could do it through him. And what did God do? We'll find out exactly what God did in our story, but it has something to do with setting God's people free and rescuing them from Pharaoh's clutches. And that's a little bit about what this song is about. We're going to learn the chorus of this song, and it goes a little bit like this. We're in the perspective of Moses. And Moses says, "Let my people go." That's a fun part because we all get to sing it together. Let my people go. It's written right there. And so it goes like this. 1, 2, 3. Let my people go. Moses said to Pharaoh, God is in control. Through his work, our faith grows. Through God's work, our faith grows. Let's sing that much again. 1, 2, ready, and let my people go. Moses said to Pharaoh, God is in control. Through his work, our faith grows. The next part goes a little something like this. Perfect love, it casts out fear, and through faith our God draws near. Let's sing that with a little bit of rhythm. 1, 2, 3. Perfect love, it casts out fear, and through faith our God draws near. The Great Escape. It doesn't actually get there yet, I just love singing that part. Let's try the whole thing together, okay? 1, 2, ready, go! Let my people go! Moses said to Pharaoh, God is in control. Through his work, our faith grows. Perfect love, it casts out fear, and through faith our God draws near. One more time, alright? Let my people go! Moses said to Pharaoh, God is in control. Through his work, our faith grows perfect love, it casts out fear. And through faith our God draws near. The great escape. Let's get Chelsea back in here and sing the whole song together. All right, Chelsea's back.
Woo, so excited to be back, guys. You ready to jump into the song?
Yeah, we're gonna sing the whole song, and now we didn't go over all the words. You might remember them from your time doing The Great Escape when you did it with us a few years ago, and if you don't, that's okay, they're gonna be written right there. Hit it, Mel.
Little baby Moses was saved through the waters of the Nile. So grown-up Moses could lead his people in their time of trial. In fear, Pharaoh made them slaves. In faith, Moses hoped to break their chains. So through the waters they be saved.
Here we go.
Let my people go, Moses said to Pharaoh. God is in control. Through his work, our faith grows perfect. Love it casts out fear. And through faith, our God draws near. Moses ordered Pharaoh, remove these chains and bind. The legs came down, but Pharaoh stubborn wouldn't change his mind. In fear, Pharaoh held them tight. In faith, God's people safe through the night. So through the waters they be saved.
Let me hear ya.
Let my people go, Moses said to Pharaoh. God is in control. Through his work, our faith grows perfect. Love it casts out fear. And through faith, our God draws near. The great escape out of Egypt to the mighty Red Sea. The sea was parted through the waters. He saved them and me. In fear, we tried to do enough. In faith, we know God rescued us. And through the waters we were saved. Let my people go, Moses said to Pharaoh. God is in control. Through his work, our faith grows perfect. Love it casts out fear. And through faith, our God draws near.
My favorite part's coming.
It's gonna be so good.
Ready?
Say it loud, guys.
The Great Escape. Woo! I love that part and that song. Yes.
So good. You guys did such an amazing job. Oh, it's so great.
And now we've done our song, we've sung our hearts out. Time to go to our classrooms or our craft or whatever it is that we usually do next. So go to that part now.
Say it with me, guys. It's time for our film.
Our film, yes.
Film. Roll tape.
The Great Escape begins in a desert place, the land of Egypt. The Hebrews were led into Egypt by Joseph. He was highly favored, and Pharaoh loved Joseph because he was wise and saved the people from a great famine. When Joseph died, a new Pharaoh came to power, one with a fearful heart. He was afraid of the Hebrews and feared they would overcome the Egyptians. In great fear, Pharaoh ordered all the midwives to cast Hebrew boys into the Nile. The midwives were brave and did not obey. This was God's way of protecting his people. During these terrible days, a child was born, and his mother hid him until she could hide him no more. The babe was sent down the Nile in hopes he would be spared. Through the waters, Moses soon arrived to the bank of Pharaoh's home.
Princess, there is a child in the reeds of the river.
Bring him to me.
he is handsome. I shall keep him as my own. We shall call him Moses, because I drew him out of the river.
Moses grew from babe to child, and eventually a prince of Egypt. The waters carried him from danger to his palace. Moses grew from a boy into a prince. He had all he could ever want. Moses' life was good. He had all the grapes, delicious sweets, and anything his heart desired. Pharaoh loved Moses and sent him to oversee the pyramids.
Men, we must move swiftly as Pharaoh, your god and king, so desires his temples. The pyramids must be tall and point to the sky.
I think you guys just need to work a little faster. Come on, work faster.
Soldier, you must not be so cruel to our servants.
I can do whatever I wish with them. They're only slaves.
The soldier became cruel, and Moses was enraged with justice for his workers.
I told you not to be so cruel!
Moses was ashamed of his anger and for what he had done. He ran away to Midian to hide forever, or so he thought. God had a different plan, one of redemption and freedom. After some time, out in the desert, Moses encountered a burning bush.
Moses, I have a plan for you. One of courage, freedom, and love. You must return to Egypt to set my people free.
Who am I, Lord? Surely you do not call on me. My tongue is slow, and I am afraid.
I will make a way. Do not fear.
Take Aaron. He is a much better man and so quick with his words. You must mean Aaron.
Take your staff. See, I will send you with all you need. Do not fear, for I am with you and will provide the signs to save my people.
Who am I that I should go to Pharaoh? And what shall I tell your people?
Take Aaron as your companion and tell the people, I am has sent you.
Moses gathered his family and rode on a donkey back to Egypt. Moses returned to Egypt as God had commanded. Moses went straight to Pharaoh's palace to plead for God's people.
Pharaoh, God has spoken to me. You must let his people go.
Ha! Is this some kind of joke, Moses? I have pyramids to build, wives and children to feed. These are my slaves. Tell your God his people belong to me.
Let my people go.
My counsel can make the same magic.
Let my people go. My God will send signs. You must let God's people go.
For 7 days, the river was red, and Pharaoh would not release God's people.
Moses, return to Pharaoh and say, let my people go.
Lord, they will not listen to me. His people have magic and do not believe. Who am I, Lord?
Tell them, the Creator of all, I am, has sent you.
Moses returned to the palace and said,
Let my people go.
The frogs covered the earth and fell from the sky. Yet Pharaoh said,
No,
Pharaoh, let my people go.
Gnats and flies filled the lands and ate all the fruits of the Nile.
Pharaoh, let my people go.
How about no? Tell your God to restore Egypt, and if he does, I will do anything.
Pharaoh begged Moses to plead with God and rid Egypt of his plagues. Moses spoke with God.
Moses, I will restore Egypt as Pharaoh has bargained, but he must let my people go.
Pharaoh, my God has restored your land. Now, let my people go.
This time, I think no.
Pharaoh had fooled Moses and would not release God's people. Moses returned to Pharaoh and warned him to let God's people go.
I really need another pyramid, and your people are such fabulous workers. I can't possibly finish my temples without them, so no.
Pharaoh, let my people go.
The livestock grew ill and died. Yet Pharaoh said,
No, I will just buy new cows, pigs, and sheep. We needed new animals anyway.
Let my people go.
Pimples and bumps covered the faces of the Egyptians.
Pharaoh, you must appease the God of Moses. My skin is hideous. I will never be able to show my face in court, let alone at our annual ball.
Your face will soon be beautiful again. I will not let Moses' people go.
Hail then fell from the sky into the desert.
Pharaoh, let my people go.
No. We will cover ourselves in blankets. Servants, warm a fire.
Let my people go.
The locusts covered the earth and the homes. Yet Pharaoh said no.
Sweet Pharaoh, please let the Hebrews go. My skin is hideous. There are flies everywhere, and it's hailing. We live in the desert. We do not have hail here. Please.
No, I am a god, more powerful than the God of Moses.
Yes, my sweets, you are the strongest and toughest, but please reconsider.
Then darkness fell upon Egypt.
Let my people go.
Your God has power over the moon and sun. You must go. Never return.
Just like before, Pharaoh did not keep his promises and would not let God's people go. And then night fell upon the heart of Pharaoh, and he would not hear the cries of the people.
That is enough. Pharaoh's heart is hardened. The night will fall upon the Egyptians one last time. When the sun rises, sons of Egypt will remain in a deep sleep, never to wake.
Lord, what about your people? What shall I say?
Tell them to mark their doors in red, showing a sign that they know they are covered by God. My spirit will come through Egypt and will pass the red doors.
Yes, Lord.
Darkness came once again into the deepest of night, and the Spirit of God moved throughout the land.
God's people have nothing to fear. God is with them and will release them through the waters.
When the sun rose, the people and children of Egypt awoke, but the son of Pharaoh did not.
Moses' God has put our son into a deep sleep. Let his people go.
bring Moses to me.
Pharaoh, let my people go!
Yes, go, and never return.
You were once slaves, and now you are free. Gather your belongings and family. We will cross the Red Sea.
What about Pharaoh?
Yeah, Moses, he's gonna come for us.
Your God has sent me with signs, wonders, and miracles. We will trust him.
Okay, let's go. All right, let's go.
Let's do it.
The people gathered their belongings and began to move out of Egypt. For 3 days, Moses and the people traveled.
I am now angry. We must do something, Pharaoh.
We will gather all the soldiers and armies of Egypt and return to me what is mine. Commander, gather all our men and bring back my slaves.
Moses, Pharaoh has lost his sadness, and now is seeking revenge his region once more. You must gather your people and cross the Red Sea. Through the waters you will be saved.
Aaron, wake our people. God has spoken to me in a dream. We must move quickly through the desert and into the Red Sea.
How will we cross the sea? We have no boats, only camels.
I am has sent me, and he will make a way.
Gather your belongings. Pharaoh is coming, and we must cross the Red Sea.
How's God gonna get across the Red Sea?
Wait, we don't have any boats.
I can't swim.
Moses is crazy. We'll never survive.
Maybe we should just go back to Egypt and Pharaoh will forgive us. God made a promise to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. We have seen his promises fulfilled through Noah and Joseph. The same God will see us through, and we will cross the Red Sea.
The people gathered their belongings and walked to the Red Sea.
I think I can see Moses and the Israelites up there. Let's get them.
Pharaoh and his armies were gaining on the Hebrews with each passing moment. Pharaoh's hardened heart leapt at the thought of recapturing his slaves, thinking they would be trapped by the Red Sea. But in God's story, a way is made where none seemed possible.
We will cross the Red Sea. God will make a way.
Moses stepped into the waters, and they parted like a canyon. The people followed Moses, watching in amazement as the sea parted. As Pharaoh approached the sea, he could not believe his eyes.
The God of Moses commands the seas, moon, and sun. How is this possible?
Through the waters, God frees his people and reminds us he keeps his promises to us, now and always.
The people of God passed through the waters, eventually making their way to the Promised Land. As the people of Israel stepped out of the parted sea, the water rushed back together and consumed Pharaoh's army. Through the story of Moses, we can know for certain that through water a promise is made, and God will remain faithful to his promises. We can know for certain that there will be many pharaohs, but there is only one king who is compassionate, loving, and ready to keep his people free. His name is Jesus.
Whoa, guys, what an insanely epic film we just watched. That was amazing. So many things, all those plagues, the gnats, the boils, the frogs, the locusts. You know, I think it's time to jump into our scripture with Miss Jackie. Let's see what she's got for us today.
Great
on day 20. Day what?
Day mouth on the head.
Can you say 4?
4 on.
Day 4. Welcome to day 4, everybody. Well, today's theme is all about, this is one of my favorite CAC years, the Great Escape. So today I would like to read you the verse, Isaiah 43:2. It goes like this. When you pass through the waters, I will be with you, and through the rivers, they shall not overwhelm you. This is a fantastic verse. This verse reminds us that God is always making a way out of no way. So we might feel like something is totally impossible, but then swoops in God and He proves us wrong. You can do anything with God by your side. And that is something that is really encouraging to remember. So this verse is an excellent, encouraging reminder to all of us, and something that I like to definitely keep in my back pocket to remind myself often, because, you know, we can sometimes get discouraged and forget these things. We can forget that God is in control and is with us and wants to help us. And with God, anything is possible.
All right, guys, now it's time to jump into our activity, our big craft with Miss Avery. She's got a really fun one for you guys today, and I think it's a little bit messy, so make sure you're wearing something that you don't mind getting dirty. Let's pop on over and see what she's got.
Hi campers, I'm so excited to do another craft with you guys today. I had so much fun learning about the Great Escape, and I think it is one of those stories that can just get our imaginations turning. Can you even imagine what it would be like if all of a sudden hundreds of thousands of frogs descended upon New York City? You'd like step on them and they would get in your house and all that stuff. So we are going to do some of our own imagining and creating of crazy plagues. Like, how crazy can you get? You can either do it on a regular piece of paper, or the first step can be to make your own papyrus, which is one of the first types of paper that was made by the Egyptians. So what you're going to need to make your papyrus is a brown paper bag. You're going to need some aluminum foil. You're going to need some sort of bowl or container, and then you'll need some Elmer's glue. So let's get started. To start, lay your aluminum foil or wax paper down on your workspace. Cut your paper bag into strips. Check your pieces to see if you need to cut the bottom of the bag off of them, or if they are two pieces folded together and need to be cut in half. Mix a bit of Elmer's glue and water together. Now this is the messy part. Dip one strip into the gluey water. When you pull it out, make sure to keep it over the bowl. Use your fingers to spread the glue all across the strip. Lay the strip flat on your surface. Take another strip, dip it in the glue, spread the glue out, and lay it right next to the first strip you just placed. Make sure these strips slightly overlap each other. Continue dipping strips and placing them next to each other until you've created the desired width of your papyrus. Then, with the next set of strips, I first measured and ripped it a bit so that it fit the width of the first strips. I then dipped it in glue and laid it down. Continue to do this until you've created an entire second layer on your papyrus. Once finished, wash your hands and your bowl and leave your papyrus to dry overnight. Why hello, it is the next day and my papyrus has been drying all night, and I came back to it and peeled it off the aluminum foil, and it was a little bit challenging, so you can see over here, some of it got stuck and I couldn't get it off. So you might have some struggle peeling it off, but it's totally fine if extra stays on the back. And then I drew my Egyptian scene on it. So this is an Egyptian scene where if you can translate these hieroglyphics, it's going to say moths, because my plague is that thousands of moths have descended and are driving the Egyptians mad. One super quick note about Egyptian art. One of the ways that you can always tell it's Egyptian art is the way that they show their figures, okay? They always draw their people in a particular way. Their heads are always turned to the side, but one eye is always looking straight out at you. So they have profile, head, eye looking straight out at you, and then their shoulders are always squared, straight. And then you always can see all four limbs. So you can see both arms and both legs. So when you're drawing your Egyptians, draw them head to the side, one eye out, shoulders straight, and then show us all four of their limbs. The other thing that they always include is hieroglyphics, their style of writing with pictures, and we will include a code for how you can start to spell things out. Like let's say I was going to spell apple, then you can find the symbol for A, the symbol for P, the symbol for P, the symbol for L, the symbol for E, and you can write apple in hieroglyphics. You can just make your Egyptian scene on a regular piece of paper, and this one you can see his expression. And if you were to translate this, it would say, "Bugs for dessert!" Ah! And you can see all the little bugs coming out of the dessert. It's terrifying.
Oh guys, what a great craft we had just now with Miss Avery. It was super fun. Mine's outside drying right now, and I'd love to see yours as soon as you're done too. So, let's do a little recap of today. We learned in the film how God was there to rescue his people from Egypt. Through the waters, they were saved! What an amazing song with Mr. Matt, right? That was so much fun. And then Miss Jackie gave us our scripture, which was so great. And of course, like I said, our craft with Miss Avery was so much fun. Well guys, before we dip out today, let's say a little prayer. Dear God, thank you for rescuing us. Thank you for teaching us how to love and not fear. And thank you for reminding us that through the waters, you have saved us. Amen. Well, thank you guys for tuning in today. It was so great to see you all. And I'll see you tomorrow for our last day of camp and our really, really, really big, super fun surprise. See you then.